professional services contracts too.
I just don't, it's a bid, so I figured you don't have to go out for a bid or anything like that.
It's not a bid.
We don't have to pick the low bid, it's a professional
Oh, I get that
service.
part.
It's a professional service. So we said, what is it gonna take to do this? And they all estimated what they thought would it take, and the problem was, they all estimated different hours. So it was hard to compare the dollars, so what Leanne did was said, let's try to equalize the dollars. Let's use their hourly rate, let's load in what we think might be a reasonable number of hours to see how the.
A safe number of hours.
But we want to have the cushion for it. They might not.
Maybe we need just in the future to identify that as part of our template, because I just feel uncomfortable because the other people didn't have a specified hour and they gave their best bid.
Everyone proposed the exact same thing. I mean, this is not at all unusual or unreasonable or from an engineering contracting standpoint.
Okay,
Okay, any other comments?
I do, but somebody else can go first.
That's-
And I'm sorry, this is part of the problem with not having this vetted through committee before it comes here. We have a proposal that says 13, but then in the, on page 14 of your proposal, in the compensation, you suggest a not to exceed amount of $15,000. That's in your document, on your page 14 and 19. Compensation authorized by this agreement will not exceed amount of $15,000 and shall include all project-related expenses.
Oh, in the sample contract.
Is that a sample?
So the RFP asked for a sample contract, and so I included a sample. That doesn't, that the intent there was to prove that the legal requirements that you request are indeed included in our contracts that we've had with you for some time. So, no, the number is,
So then, let me ask you this, are you okay with us approving a $13,000 not to exceed?
I'm okay if, so, and, you know, it could be less if you're okay, if you allow us
He
to
wanted
sort
to be
of,
less.
I'm okay.
It's not.
If you're okay, I'm okay.
No, right, he just recommended in the proposal, he said I could make it less if that's what you know, so.
you allow us not to be there
now if
the
you-
whole time, right? So that's the thing. Or if you allow us to, you
We
know,
want the
hide
best,
back-
we want the best thing for our project.
Well, okay, so I think the second option was there because the RFP template asks for it. The RFP template said, provide an opinion as to how to modify this amount that you just proposed, right? So I wanted to be responsive to that request. I wasn't gonna go above it by saying, let us use two people, right? So the flip side, and as I said, I mean, this is the kind of work, as Leanne correctly said, I've worked with Scott Bone in 2013 and transferred all my files to him, and I said, here, you do it from now on. You do it. And since then, my friend Joel has been doing it. So, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that like in Whitefish Bay, Spencer does it, he's a village employee. So these aren't engineering things, but in this case, I think it's a really hand-holding job.
All right, so we have a motion to
So we have more comment here from.
I'm just asking, is that what the motion that's on the?
There is a motion on the floor for 13,000, which is a repeat of the original motion that you made. Trustee Rosick.
Oh, thank you. Leanne, so for engineering, they do vary widely, and I don't have the other proposals with that. I'm gonna ask you two questions. Since we only have Clark Diaz, do you feel comfortable recommending
Dietz.
Clark Dietz proposal to us as a staff member?
Yes.
Okay. That makes you feel better. And then the engineering hours between the four in your table vary significantly. Was there something in the other proposals that made that swing? So the distribution of hours
I think I could best describe it just as different approaches to the project. You know. And that's really all, honestly, that's all I feel comfortable saying.
Because I think he was saying, and the reason I asked that is, in his proposal, you know, you're the lead, you only have 2 hours budgeted to do all that community communication. So I'm just wondering where, because engineering, as you were saying, is kind of insane, and so the hours shouldn't really swing that big. So is there something that maybe they included as more community hours, that maybe those hours go up in project engineering? I don't know.
Well, the reason is that I'm here now and you're not getting the bill for this, so I'm here.
That was going through my mind.
So, no. But so there's a couple of things. Engineering for this, I guess, as I said, before we had the bright idea of staff doing this type of work, since 13 or 13, right? You know, with either myself or my staff have done this for years. So it isn't that part of it that's going to be engineering. The engineering is going to be, you know, keeping things under control on the street, you know, morning rush hour southbound and evening rush hour northbound. That's the project.
And are you asking for direction from us, or is this just to the department? No, on the inches, there's 2 options for asphalt thing, it's just going to
No,
the department. That's what I was, okay. And last question was, I just wanted to, and this isn't directly to, thank you for those great answers, was just, in our publication that went out, because I hope we're going to have a lot besides the next meeting, did we let the residents know, first, that we're not going to have any impact on funding, we're not losing any funding by striping the road, and secondly, that there is a chance that we would have to stripe it differently in the future, based on funding. Is that being communicated?
Tyler?
I'm sorry, what?
I
I was not expecting a question. I was not.
I just wanted, we don't have a lot of meetings in between now and final approval, and I wanted confirmation that I remember you saying this a while ago, but that there's not going to be any impact in state aids coming to us between now and construction.
Correct.
Correct.
State aids will stay the same.
Okay, great, because I just.
We just got the state aid's figure too.
Yeah,
That won't change.
that would only change
40,000.
depending on if you require parking or not. We already require parking on the state highway, so that's already been impact, you know.
Good.
So that's already taken into account. Yeah, there'd be no change in state aid.
Okay, and have we or will we be telling the residents that when we reconstruct this road, because we receive state funding, we may have to take either the parking or the bike lane away because the shared lane won't be allowed?
Yeah, I mean, that's already part of the FAQ that went out to residents this week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be messaged at the January 17th public meeting as well.
Okay, thank you.
And we're going to be having the traffic engineer in addition at the 17th. And I've already been talking with some residents to ask the question that if you were not to remove parking, what would the impacts be? So there's going to be a lot of different opportunities for residents to learn about that. Does that address your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, sorry about that.
Any other comments? Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
I'm going to vote no on the 13,000, not supposed to be 13,000, for the reason that we have a department head who is very experienced and has been, who is asking for 100 hours of inspection for the community, and at the risk of being critical of my co-board members, Trustee Amenta and Trustee Razik, you have been relentlessly critical of engineers, and
I would appreciate not getting personal on a policy issue.
and very concerned about the community, and so I will not vote for reducing inspection hours if it is a benefit to the community.
Now, was this a not to exceed 13,000? Because if it has to go over 13,000, just like any contractor bid, it could go over the 13,000 if it has to exceed the hours in there. Paul, what are your thoughts on that?
You get a 15%, you can modify any contract by 15%, correct? Without going back
Prior
to
to its award, not after its award.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood that. For professional contracts, I think it's in our policy.
Oh, that, okay, I apologize, I was speaking to construction, not professional.
So if this clarifies things, you know, 100 hours is, you know, 2.5 weeks, and as you surmise in construction, that's not in a row. If we need to use 100 hours, then that means we're talking about a 3-week period, and it will be fairly obvious about midpoint whether we're talking 100 hours or we're gonna wrap it
Well,
up.
I would just interject that construction is not 8-hour days. So in a 5-day work week, it's 50 hours, not 40.
I'm also not going to vote for this. I'm going to vote no, because I do put the department head recommending the inspection full time, and also this is such a high profile project, and we've heard so much concern raised about the impact on residents that this $2,240, which may not be spent, but at least it's in the contract, that if we get into this project and do counter-crowding and traffic flow, somebody's there, right there immediately that's going to stick it
Whoever was stated how they're voting, I'm going to vote yes to the 13,000. I don't have a proposal in front of me that says anything different. I have so again, the proposal that we're awarding in front of us says the $13,000 number, and I do believe that there was plenty of justification. He even gave justification of why it could be lower, but I don't have any other proposal in front of me to judge that by, because there's only one in our packet.
Clark Dietz has a lot of experience with the village. Mustafa personally has a lot of experience with the village, both as representative of Clark Dietz and with other firms that he has been with, that the village has retained for professional services. I think one of the reasons that we retain Clark Dietz, and specifically Mustafa Amir, is that he is a professional and we trust him and he does good work for the village. By that I mean that I have no problem approving a not to exceed $15,000 because I know that Mustafa and Clark Dietz and the project team will work with Joel, will work with Leanne, will work with contractors to try to make it as good a project as they can for Shorewood. I think that we have a bigger risk of having a project that we as a board say not to exceed $13,000, and for reasons outside of our control, specifically our need to deliver the best project for the residents of Shorewood and the travelers on Lake Drive, and particularly people that live on Lake Drive, they get up to that 13,000 and have a problem exceeding that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to hinder and put that sort of restraint on this project. I impress upon Dr. Amir and Clark Dietz the importance of completing this work at the lowest possible rate. This is a time and materials project, and if we can do it overnight and do it for much less, if Leanne and Mustafa can arm wrestle it and figure out the plan that works the best, and it comes in whatever it comes in, that's great, and I'm ready to approve something at 15,000 if this doesn't pass.
I'm still.
Can we do a, excuse me, can we do a amended motion?
I thought Robert's rules was going, we're going to ask the question.
I'm sorry, what?
My question was for the attorney. What we have before us is a proposal for 13,000 and plus, just put it in the range. I'm assuming we can just up the amount. Correct.
So there's now been a motion and a second to approve up to 13,000.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think there's a couple of ways you can proceed. You can certainly vote on it as made, understanding what the likely outcome would be, and then you could make a new motion. You could move to amend the amount, but procedurally, you end up getting back to the same place. So that's a discretionary thing.
But legally, it's okay to approve like a bid for a contract that's in a different amount.
Oh, I see.
That's-
what you mean.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we've had this discussion before. I mean, it is possible that the vendor could say, well, the reason we bid it the way we did is there's economies of scale at 15 versus 13, and I now won't endorse, I won't sign the contract, right? I mean, but, I don't know, I mean, if you can't unilaterally alter the terms of a contract or agreement, so really what you're doing is you're sending it back to them, asking them if they'll still accept the new agreement at the altered amount.
So you're proposing a new
For all intents and
contract.
purposes, that's right, yeah, I mean, they wouldn't have to, you can't bind the other party to accepting something that you unilaterally.
Usually when you